Hi guys, welcome to Smell What's Cooking. Today we have our first viewer request recipe. Longtime subscriber, like I've been around long enough to have, longtime subscriber, Mark Steenhofer has sent in his kimchi recipe. I love kimchi. Kimchi's great. It's awesome. I have a lot of friends that make kimchi. I have a lot of Korean friends that make kimchi, so I'm probably gonna offend somebody's Korean grandmother, and for that I apologize. But let's do it. Check it out. This is pretty simple. Kimchi, cabbage. Every Korean has a recipe for it. It is passed down from generation to generation. So you start with this Napa cabbage. So Napa cabbage has these nice soft leaves to it. And you gotta clean it because there's lots of sand in it. So you gotta get all that sand out of there. I like to take off every leaf individually and do that. So I'm gonna do that really quick. All right, so we got all of our cabbage ready. Now we're gonna get ready the dressing for it, because kimchi is basically a pickled cabbage. And traditionally it ferments. A lot of people have these huge clay pots that they bury in the ground, packed with kimchi. They pack it and pack it and pack it. And it just kind of sits out, but I got a little bit of a different way to do it. Now, I think garlic is great in kimchi. It is in most of it. A lot of real Korean recipes use these little, it's like a dried shrimp that go into it too, and it's really interesting. So garlic, well, I love a lot of garlic, but for this, you could probably use 6 or 7 cloves, but I'm going to use, 6 cloves. Maybe 7. And what we're going to do is we're going to rub our seasoning into it. So while we make that, I'm going to take some kosher salt here and work it in like it all over this. And we'll let that sit while we're doing everything else. So we have my 7 cloves of garlic. Next we're going to add some heat. This is a great use. This is Mark uses the sambal ulik, the chili garlic sauce. So I'm going to use probably a good 3/4 of a cup. And using a blender is probably not the traditional way to do this, but it's going to make it a lot easier. So then we need some vinegar. Mark's recipe uses rice vinegar. I don't have any rice vinegar. Sorry. So I'm just going to use some white. A few tablespoons of that. And for just a hair of sweetness to offset all this heat, we use some red wine vinegar. And that's going to make our rub here. And I'm going to take my blender. First I'm going to pour back a little bit of this vinegar juice into here and rinse out my hot jar, because why would I ever waste any of this? Alright, gonna put this in my blender and pulse this up. all we want to do. And what we have, you see this come out here, it's just chopped up, still very liquidy. This is what we're going to smear in. So now making this is actually really simple. We got our cabbage. We've added some salt to it. There's salt in the garlic in the stuff too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these, dip it in, and you pack it into your jar. And the more you want to have every leaf individually covered with your mixture here. Add a little bit more salt into my mixture. Alright. And you just get in there and you make sure it's in every nook and cranny. Alright, so we got 2 big jars of this out of that batch. I'm going to just let these sit in the fridge. They don't even have to be in the fridge. There is, between the vinegar and the salt, this is preserved as preserved can get and would be fine if it just fermented out. But I'm probably going to put it in the fridge to make myself feel a little bit better. Now, here's the tough part. Try to let this sit for at least a week. It will really, really taste better the longer it sits. So there you go. Spicy kimchi. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe for more great videos.